very good afternoon to welcome to the 24th Asian Junior Independent Table Tennis Championships in United Stadium. Let us welcome the player in fire music and marching.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have now the next final for you. We're on to the boys junior doubles final.
Junior boys double final. From Korea, Yubin. From China, Yingbin. Umpires are from Japan, from Japan.
And as we can see, some of these players you'll have seen already earlier today. The Chinese players especially have had an extremely busy time. Not quite costume changes, but we've seen Xu Yingbin already take part in the boys singles final, runner-up in that competition. So he will be feeling a little bit fatigued from that. But I imagine that he's got the stamina. And with Heiyi, they are very experienced together. If we have a quick look at how they got here, the Chinese players have had a reasonably tough draw going through. Second seeds in the competition. They had a bye in the first round. They beat Thailand 3-love. 3-2 against Korea, one of the other two Korean pairs in the draw. 3-love against India. And now here they are in the final. India, not to be underestimated. Two teams or two pairs in the semi-finals to back up their runners-up in the team competition. So we can see China-India matchups, I would say, in the future. Looking across at our Korean players on the far side there, Hyeok, KWAK Yubin. These pair have been playing together for 4 years. And they went past Sri Lanka 3-love in the first round, Japan 3-2 close game, UAE in the quarters 3-love, and India in the semi-finals 3-love. So both teams as third seeds. The Koreans have avoided any of the big guns, and they've been less distracted by the singles competition as well. So that could prove to be a slight advantage to them. They're not taking part, either of them, in mixed doubles either. So it's going to be to see whether the Koreans use a bit of firepower and test whether the Chinese players, who've been playing many more match games this week, are a little bit fatigued. But I suspect Chinese mental conditioning, physical conditioning, and you can see the coach at the back there. Head coach Chen Zhenjiang, looking expectantly. I'm not sure the Korean coach has quite the same medal haul that our Chinese coach has, but if we can go back into history of Korean table tennis, as you well know, Roy Sung-min, gold medal at the Athens Games. Korea has a glorious history, and the Chinese coach as well, a silver medalist and an Olympian, and an Olympic medalist in men's doubles. So, you know, with Yan Sen anyway, we have some great experience, and I think with the whole coaching team, very good. Takanaka-san from Japan, as our chief referee, and we are about to begin the match.
vs.Xu and KWAK vs. CHN sub. Love all.
Doubles, best of 5 games.
One love.
One love, Korea.
One all.
Lovely speedy footwork from the Chinese team there.
Two one. Two all. Three.
Lovely play by the Koreans, just trying to tempt the Chinese team to attack prematurely.
Three all.
And a very delicate shot there. Xu Yingbin belying his strength by a very little delicate shot with a tiny bit of backspin.
Four three. Four all. Four five. Six four. Red 6-4.
And we're seeing Heiyi really assert a little bit of leadership here,
6-5.
except for that mistake. Seeding of 4, seeding 2 for doubles. Currently standing first in the junior World Circuit ranking and winner of the Czech and French Opens.
6 all.
A little bit snatched, unlike Xu Yingbin. And interesting, China trying to force errors from the Koreans, and yet themselves playing a brilliant shot and then an unforced error. That was pressure they put on themselves.
7-6.
As a bit of a stiff stare coming from the corner where the Chinese coach is, as you can see in the background.
7 all.
Compared to an absolutely impassive Korean coach, Buddha-like. Fabulous defensive play by the Koreans, turning retrieval of those powerful forehands into an aggressive, straight down the middle winner.
No.
And the Koreans now coming to the business end of this game, 8-7 lead.
Okay. Red 7 all.
Koreans obviously keen to keep those muscles warm, keep that momentum going. No delays, no slowing down. They want to keep the train moving forwards. And a taste of their own medicine on that one. A very unlikely error from Yuhei, very uncharacteristic. Gives the Koreans a slight edge, 9-8. And their tails are up. Lovely, lovely smash, getting round the ball on the far side and then delivering a really acute angle. Neither Chinese player ready to reach or willing to reach for that. Absolutely fantastic spotting the gap there. That was KWAK Yubin opening up the gap, playing it very well, maneuvering the opposition. And I think the Chinese boys are going to have a little bit of thinking to do on that one, because although the scores were reasonably close, I can see which of the pairs were the sharper thinkers, the more focused thinkers, and the guys who had probably a better game plan. And it's these unforced errors. There was pressure on the Chinese, but there wasn't an enormous amount of pressure. Well, we've just seen a victory celebrated by Korea in the junior girls doubles final. And obviously, there's a slight momentum, I would say, for Korea there, even though they're not showing it on the coach's face, that if they can win this, they could stop a China potential landslide today, especially in this junior category. So what is Yuhei going to do to take himself and his teammate back in the game? Well, he forced that one. You can see the Chinese guys getting a clear focus and headset, putting themselves back in the game.
2-1.
And it must be strange for actually some of these Chinese players, because they're facing each other so often in other competitions across the table, in singles and mixed doubles. And here they are side by side, having to reveal each other's tactics, skills, strengths, weaknesses for the benefit of the country and benefit of their team. He's done it once, he's done it again. This time with a thrusting backhand with very, very heavy topspin. Again finds that angle. So he's really reaching that arm across the front of his body to swing in from the right to the left. Very cheeky, very opportunistic, and he got away with it. Yuhei must be delighted with that. Sorry, Xu Yingbin. Nope, didn't work that time. Spectacular shot. There's a little bit of a Roger Federer backhand if you're a tennis fan. Or even John McEnroe if you're an older tennis fan. The Koreans have kept this 1 point advantage pretty much all the way through.
6-4.
And they're just consistent. They are absolutely consistent. They are forcing errors. They are tempting Xu to make power plays. And those power plays do not seem to be controlled.
7-4.
Now that was a concentration lapse. There's no real explanation for that. He's done it again. 3 in a row. 4 in a row. He's taken 3 points from 4 of those shots. I'm not sure what I would do if I was Xu, apart from try and grow an extra 6 inches on my legs. But they are going to have to improve their mobility.
9-5.
They're going to have to commit wide, and then if you commit wide, you leave yourself open down the middle. So really difficult, and it's because the Koreans are responding to a short ball that they're able to latch onto it so well.
9-6.
And that was Choi's attempt at fireworks, which didn't go beyond the fuse, unfortunately.
Seven, 9.
Well, the Chinese, with their fingertips, are pulling themselves back into this game
Timeout.
very quietly.
Podium.
I'm guessing the Koreans called a timeout on that one. Chinese had a little bit of momentum. Fabulous game, incredibly close. What's stunning is that we're looking at, you know, the future of men's doubles and table tennis. These fellas are 18, boys, fellas. I think we can call them fellas. They will be breaking through. Whether they make Tokyo 2020, I don't know. But if we look at some of the other stars, if we look at Japan and the 14-year-old who took gold in the under-20 event in Prague, if we look at Miu, who was 16 and took gold in the Asian Championships last year in the girls singles, we have a tradition of youngsters breaking through, and not only breaking into the national team, but spectacularly and going on to the podium within the first year of their placement. So you never know. Some of these young players here will be taking on the mantle, the pressure of being the next young star. Both nations having won gold medals in the Olympics, China more recently the most, but both used to follow a pathway of legends. Well, this is a surprise. Korea was 7-4 up, 3 points clear and on a roll. China has come back now to 9-all. The tide has changed. The Koreans have put pressure on themselves for no real reason.
10-9.
And out comes the KWAK missile. The cross-court smash forehand. And can he repeat that? for the final point. We're at 10-9 to Korea over China.
11-9. 10 and 12.
So there we go. Well, it's not insurmountable. The coach still seems relaxed for China. All they have to do is win 3 games in a row now, if they want to win. It's not impossible, but we do have a very, very steady, very consistent Korean pair here. And with Choi and KWAK's deep experience, I fear the Chinese are going to have to come up with a very, very different strategy. Otherwise, they're going to be pressured and they could be packing their suitcases quite soon rather than lasting the length of the afternoon. But as we know, Xu's already been a finalist in the boys singles today, so maybe he's feeling a little bit of an effect from that. He's going to have to stay fresh, or maybe keep his energy fresh, because on the schedule in front of me, I've got him back again on the junior mixed doubles, as I have with Heiyi. So I suspect a little rest after this might be necessary. Fabulous play from Choi. Spectacular. Great free movement, very nice, light on the feet, lovely shift of weight and balance. A super placement there from Xu, very good. And that's what he's very good at. He's a strapping lad, but he's got a very, very delicate, just over the net shot. Serves him very well.
2-1.
Nope, that didn't work. China for the first time are up 2-1. I think nearly for the first time in the whole game, actually.
2-0.
Too complicated, too tricky a shot from Xu. Maybe he'll think about that now as Korea comes back 2-2.
2-3.
Nothing short of drama from Choi, but that didn't work either. And that straight to the body shot, a little difficult for Choi to get back. So good placement, and those Korean legs who've been so balanced and movement-wise been so agile, just caught slightly off pace. Body shots are what China are doing, and they're doing it very well. And I'm also wondering whether there's an endurance thing here with these physical conditioning of these Chinese boys starting to show through.
4-0.
But there is nothing in it. We're straight back. Fantastic speed from KWAK Yubin. Level pegging at 5-all. Well, that was very unfortunate for China, and I feel a little bit for Xu and Heiyi. They clearly agreed that Xu and Yingbin would swing wide if KWAK did one of his power cross courts, and he got it back extremely well, and it was a very good return. Unfortunately, he caught KWAK on the right balance, who then returned it down the line. Very difficult to reply to that. And I'm giving, you know, huge credit to the Chinese players. They've adapted their tactic. They're trying to nullify KWAK's cross-court forehand with better positioning themselves. But KWAK is just looking for those gaps, as you can see from these replays here. Yeah, lovely shots from the Koreans. Super shot choice, either very wide out of reach or straight to the body. So it's power and accuracy from them, which again gives them that slight lead. Absolutely magnificent. Great reactions. Interesting how far away from the table the Korean players are able to stand. They're dictating the rallies. They know the pace. They know where it's going to land. It's as if they can read ahead. Yuhei punished there, put it up slightly short, anticipated, destroyed. And that's lovely to see, actually. You know, it's not just about his attacking, his defensive skills there. Quite, you've been retrieving there and causing the Chinese boys a problem. But well recovered. Well recovered. By no means are they out of the game. They're still within touching distance. But that 1 point lead for Korea is really advantageous.
Seven.
Crikey. That would appear to be an ace. Heavens. Unlucky. China still back in the game. Score is 9-8. 2 points to go.
All.
Unlucky. Forced error. And this actually could work out well for China. They've got the serve. They're equal. I am suspecting that they're going to set up Xu Yingbin for a rapid return. And there it was, and it worked. Fabulous. Really unpredictable. Super topspin backhand straight down the line. Very well thought out. Will they repeat the same tactic that worked effectively? Oh dear. That's 2 now in a row. Yeah. And signs to calm down from the coach. Take it easy. Again, both these Chinese boys have played matches today. They played in semi-finals as well.
11, 10.
So, you know, they are mentally tired and stretched. And now actually have a chance to redeem a game to get back into the whole match. And they absolutely took charge of that. Full credit. Really good. And the coach will be delighted. They had some moments of stress. They were not leading for virtually all the game. They came back at 9-all, if you remember. And a couple of a couple of dud serves from Heiyi even held them back. So again, these unforced errors. But cooler heads, smarter heads prevailed in those last few games. And as you can see, a 12-10 with a very, very smart Xu Yingbin down the line backhand topspin. It's perhaps a little early to say whether China has the advantage again, but they'll definitely gain some confidence from there, if not a little respect that at least they've pulled back to one game. I think it's pretty clear what Korea has to do, and they've got one more game to do it.
I don't.
If we just go back a little bit on KWAK Yubin, he's actually played very few tournaments this year, so that suggests perhaps an injury. He played in the World Juniors last year in Riva de Garda in Italy, made it through to the third round, so a little bit of an unknown quantity, but I could say here, not only has he performed extremely well, he'd probably be in my select 11 of most entertaining players of the tournament so far, just with his variety of shots and his individual style. Great flexibility from KWAK Yubin there, but that wasn't enough. Absolutely exquisite rally. And Xu Yingbin, the executioner, and Heiyi, the getaway driver, very, very in touch with each other mentally on who was to move where.
2-4.
And you can see where the momentum is going now. Xu Yingbin, Heiyi, 4-2 up. Second game, the Koreans regrouping, rethinking what can be done to slow them down. It's as if they've been saving their energy. Well, they forced an error there.
Three.
Well, a little fortunate there, but sometimes it has to go that way. So it's as if the Koreans have got their feet stuck in mud. 6-3. They have slowed down, they've quietened down. The weapon didn't work. If you look at the pace of the Korean play, it's just quietened down a bit. So really wondering what the game plan is here. That was a surprise. That takes us back to the first two games with mistakes like that. But the Chinese pair are getting wise to these wide angles, and I just sense the pace has come off the strikes from the Korean pair here.
8-4.
There's a little less energy, a little less intensity. And China's now built a four-point cushion, which will stand them in very, very good stead And that, I'm afraid, has just widened to 5. So we're seeing Xu and Yu with a renewed focus and energy.
4-10.
And sheer confidence, absolute sheer confidence. So how interesting, these very short, nearly defensive shots, these sort of sliced forehands just over the net with a bit of reverse spin, are sending the Korean players into some kind of confused state. And China swept through that game 11-4 in, by my watch, about 9 minutes. So an incredibly quick game. Probably the rally of the game, that one. Magnificent positioning from both sets of teams. But the vision of Xu Yingbin to spot that gap and control his power to put that ball away was extremely promising. I think turn back the clock is what the Korean coach is saying. Find your mojo, find out what you did so well in the first 2 games. For the 2 Chinese boys, they look loose, they look relaxed, they look like they're communicating, they're getting on. They look very confident indeed.
Final game.
And I think it's theirs to lose. And I think they know that too. So let's see what CHOI and KWAK can do. 2 games apiece. But with the last 2 games going to China. But with Korea resurgent now, taking first point of the 5th game. And a very relaxed Chinese coach in the background. He's allowing his boys to enjoy this. I think a little bit come up with their own strategies. Handle defeat, handle disappointment. Handle a 2-point deficit at the beginning of this game.
Lap 3. Four laps.
Well, we've yet to see a reaction from the China coach, Chen Zhenjiang, sitting at the back there. And against all predictions and the run of play, the tempo, CHOI and KWAK have taken a 5-point lead in this 5th game. Quite extraordinary.
Well, 5.
But the Chinese boys are not going to let that lie for very long. And Heiyi very keen to get back in the game.
2-5.
Unfortunate for Heiyi, great smash, wrong side of the table. Gives CHOI and KWAK a career, a 4-point cushion at 6-2 in the 5th game.
3. Seven.
Yeah, this is a little ominous, and I'm a little surprised. But again, bear in mind, Xu Yingbin and Heiyi will also play in the next match, which is junior mixed doubles finals. There'll be a short break, I assume. And just not quick enough from Xu Yingbin. The 17-year-old couldn't quite stretch to that one. And look at the Korean guys running away with this at the moment, just as we saw the Chinese in the last game.
Eight, 4.
Well, the China, as you know, champions in the team event in the juniors, champions last year as well. Really need to show what they're made of to pull back this deficit. And Chen Zhenjiang, the coach, just giving his boys a little bit of encouragement there. Pulling a point back.
Five, 9.
2 points to go. 2 points to go for Korea. 2 more points as a double. Will it be double happiness, double joy for 2 doubles victories? We've already had doubles victory for Korea in the women's and the girls. And now the boys vying for that honor, but China is not giving up. Heiyi showing why he is gold medalist in the team competition. Well, that gap is getting smaller and smaller. And as a Swiss watch brand says, don't crack under pressure. And the Koreans are looking down the barrel of a victory.
Nine, 8.
And they are allowing the Chinese pair to gain confidence and ground and outmuscle them from 4 points advantage to 1 point. Korea 9, China 8, 5th game. And that, I think, just missed the end of the table. And an incredible sigh of relief matched with the frustration on Xu Yingbin's face. Gives the Koreans, could give either side match point, but in this case it's the Koreans who have the 2 point lead and need to win the next point. China to serve. Absolutely brilliant, brilliantly a response. Xu Yingbin anticipates, cuts the margin down. Korea 10, China 9. Credit to Xu Yingbin. He's made some unforced errors, but he's made some fantastic winners. And these are a very, very strong pair.
10-0.
10 all, and as you know, 2-point advantage to decide who wins not only the game, but the match. Absolutely magnificent. If I remember, there was a 6-point lead in this game earlier on. 5-0 up, 7-2, 9-4, 9-5, and now the Chinese with a 1-point advantage and match point. And it was all too much for Choi Hyung and KWAK Yubin, and all credit to Xu Yingbin and Heiyi, maintaining not only an incredible record of amount of time on the TV table today, but they have taken for themselves the first ever boys junior doubles title. They have managed to separate themselves and get themselves into the rankings there. So Korea took the girls doubles, China the boys doubles. And that's probably the best result for both of them in this competition. And that was really impressive. From being down in all 5 of the games to coming back and winning 3-2. Commiserations to the Korean pair. I think KWAK probably needs a little more match practice. He was brilliant at the beginning, and Choi was extremely rock steady. And I could see junior men's doubles as being a highlight of the Korean team's type of play in future tournaments. And I'm sure we'll see many more great Korean men's doubles and women's doubles players in matches to come in future years.
我操！哎，就上来那个球1-0那个球，我感觉摆得太好了，这都能出台。